Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. Now today I will be reviewing one of the best and worst Star Wars movies of all time, depending on who you ask. I can see why fans are conflicted about The Last Jedi. It takes a lot of drastic steps and does things that the fans weren't expecting, which can be good or bad depending on who you ask. So in today's review I'll be talking about the things that I thought really worked and the things that I disagreed with. Let's start with the things I did enjoy and aspects in which the movie excels in. Visually, this is the best Star Wars film ever made. Every frame is gorgeous. The sets are beautifully made. The effects are stunning. The CGI in most cases works very well and is utilized effectively. The cinematography, the shots, the colors, the editing, all down to the lighting is where the movie shines. There are a few nitpicks here and there, but they do not affect the performance overall. These are the effects you want to see and should be treated to. They did a great job in blending practical effects with CGI. The soundtrack is beautiful and really draws you into the world. Sound design was on point. Everything felt like it had weight to it, especially the throne room scene, but I'll get back to that. Most of the actors were good, especially Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher. They gave it their all, and I have to give them credit for that. Andy Serkis always gives a great performance. He really brought his character Snoke to life. It was great to see a Star Wars movie that finally looked and sounds like a Star Wars movie again. This movie had some touching moments in it. Spoilers if you hadn't already seen it. But the part where R2 speaks with Luke and shows him a recording of Leia, that was a really great moment. When Luke visited his sister Leia before the big battle at the end, was very touching. Yoda had a cameo in this movie, which was fantastic. It was great seeing him on the big screen. Even though he did look a little strange, they introduced a new Force ability, which I thought was really great. They added more to the Star Wars lore, which is always a good thing. Force projection, I think they're calling it. Snoke connecting Rey and Kylo was interesting. It really shows how powerful Snoke is in the Force. Pretty much every scene where they talk about the Jedi and the Sith was really interesting, except the scene with Leia, but I'll get back to that later. The throne room scene was really cool. It really showcased just how powerful Snoke really is. The fight between Rey, Kylo, and the Praetorian Guards was very entertaining. It didn't feel choreographed, and their actions felt like they had weight to them. Going back to Yoda's scene, where he destroys the Jedi text with lightning, I have mixed feelings on that. It's very cool to see a new Force power being added to the lore, but I feel like it makes the Force Ghost seem too powerful, so I'm torn between the scene. That's really where my praise and admiration ends. The movie looks and sounds good, but it's not enough to carry the whole film. If that's all you really care about, then you might really enjoy this film. Now those are some of the points I really enjoyed. I really think they did well in these aspects. Now I'm going to discuss the things that I had issues with and things I thought didn't work. The entire Canto Bight scene should not have been in the movie. It halts the film and takes a lot of time out of the story. You could take that entire scene out and it would have no effect on the entire movie. It has sort of a slapstick comedy. It has a message about animal cruelty, which isn't a bad thing to address, but it really feels out of place in a Star Wars movie. The whole sequence just doesn't work. I also hate how they conveniently find DJ in the jail that they get thrown into. They never really elaborate on the Republic or the First Order. Their world building is terrible. All the Republic leaders die and no one seems to care. No point of view from anyone else across the galaxy except those inside Leia's cruiser. Are there no other players in this world? There's too much humor and tone issues. Poe has a stupid back and forth with Hux. Luke milking an alien. When I first heard about that, I thought it was a joke. Apparently it was. Luke tossing his lightsaber was really lame, and Finn leaking from holes in his suit was really ridiculous. There's also way too many funny jokes that take away from the serious moments and just kills the drama and the urgency. A lot of movies do this and I hate it. Again, this movie, just like The Force Awakens, is too similar to other Star Wars movies. It draws a lot from Empire Strikes Back, and a couple shots are from Return of the Jedi. There are story beats that are too similar. They did nothing with the Knights of Ren, which I thought was really disappointing. It's like Ryan completely forgot about them. And why did Luke give the Resistance a map to find him if he went there to die? He gave them a map to find him, but when they find him, he basically says, go away. The death of Phasma was very underwhelming. We were told she was going to have a bigger part in the next movie, and they didn't come through. They wasted her, and she really didn't do anything to further the plot. The whole scene with Leia getting blasted into space is just a mess and completely threw me off when I saw it. It seems really silly and really unbelievable, especially when she re-enters the ship in the vacuum of space. They also killed Admiral Akbar, a fan favorite off screen. Not really a good move. Another big issue is Rey's parents being nobodies. This would not have been an issue to me at all if they didn't build it up in the first movie. I feel like if they went through with it, it would explain a lot about Rey and her powers. I did not enjoy Rose, falling in love with Finn. It was so random, very rushed, and very unearned. Also, Rose crashing into Finn was really ridiculous, and kind of stupid. That one act alone doomed the whole Resistance. And that quote was just awful. Also, the AT-ATs just leave Rose and Finn and act like they don't notice them. So Finn drags Rose all the way from the crash site and beats the AT-ATs and meets up with the rest of the gang. Come on. The death of Snoke, in my personal opinion, was not a good way to go. It was very disappointing. When first introduced, we didn't know anything about this character. He was very mysterious, and we thought all of our questions would be answered. But instead they kill him off unexpectedly? Snoke is not a Sith, so who is he? Where did he come from? Who did he learn from? I was ready for him, and they went nowhere. Also, one of the biggest issues that everyone seems to agree on is Luke. Luke is done so poorly. His interactions with other characters is extremely bland, even when talking with Chewie and R2, two friends he hasn't seen in years. Also, he has to be told what Chewbacca is saying? Come on, guys. Also, when Luke asks about Han, they just cut to the next scene? What? They didn't think that we might want to see how Luke reacts to Han, his best friend's death? His attitude, his behavior, it's like he's a totally different character. And I don't agree with them making Luke try and kill Kylo, the son of his sister and his best friend, and he's going to kill him in his sleep? Come on, guys. This is the man who wouldn't give up on his own father, who was the second most evil figure in the entire galaxy. This was the biggest issue that I had with this movie, and to be honest, really ruined the experience for me. Look, Star Wars The Last Jedi isn't the worst Star Wars movie ever, but it's not the greatest. It does some things right, and there are some things that I enjoy, but it gets a lot of things wrong. It really bums me out that Disney doesn't really care about the franchise or the fans. I feel like Ryan just trolled us on this one. I pretty much lost all interest in Star Wars in the new trilogy. I'm still debating on whether or not I should see the next movie. I might, just to do a review on it, but other than that, I'm really not looking forward to it. Are you guys excited for the next movie in the trilogy? Are you going to see it, or are you just going to skip it? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, and tell me how you feel. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave it a like. Hit that subscribe button for more content like this. And on that note, I will see you guys next time.